Hello and welcome back. I'm Just One Life, and today we have Jeskai Turns. So the big deal about this deck is if we take a look at the untapped.gg for Mythic level decks, it looks like this deck is actually the highest win rate of all the decks, even higher of a win rate than Mono White. Mono White's been dominating the entire arena for a long time, and in Mythic, right now, Jeskai Turns has overtaken it in win rate. So the tier 1, top of tier 1 deck is Jeskai Turns. So we're going to try this deck out. There's a lot of different variations of this deck. So we're just going to try one of them. The other tiers, green is all the way down deep into tier 2, and mono black control also dipped into tier 2. Now they still have pretty decent win rates, but nowhere near up to the amount of win rates that Jeskai, Izzet, and mono white have. So what does this deck look like? Well, here we are. We have Spikefield Hazards and Fading Hopes. Now our tech for the mirror match is this Wash Away. This can counter an Alrund's Epiphany for 1 mana, and it's still a solid 3 mana counterspell otherwise. We also have 2 Sod Comings here. These can also get rid of Alrund's Epiphanies, or we can take away their Galvanic Iteration. We only have 2 Galvanic Iterations, but that's fine because of the flashback. We're running 4 Sunset Revelries to keep ourselves alive into the later game, 4 Doomskars to really help us against Mono White. We've got 1 Leer, because you only really need 1. Drawing 2 is usually terrible. We have 1 Hullbreaker Horror in this deck, tucked away beneath the Seagate Restorations. And Seagate Restoration can actually be a really important card. There was one matchup I was running low on cards, and I was able to Galvanic Seagate Restoration with a Hullbreaker Horror out, stay alive with just 4 life, and get like 20 cards into my hand, and I took over the game from there, because Hullbreaker Horror. There's 4 Alrund's Epiphanies, of course, 2 Amaria's Calls, and then our Divide by Zero, Expressive Iteration, Memory Deluge. You can't really see our land package, but there's our lands if you want to take a look at them. We only have 1 of each basic to get with our Learn board, our Environmental Sciences. Often, I find myself needing to do a Divide by Zero to go get an Environmental Sciences so I can find white mana and get that Doomskar into play. So this mana base is really good. I wonder if it couldn't use just a little bit more white, although we do have 3, 6, 8, 9 white sources from land. Actually, 11. So we really shouldn't be hurting for white, but often I find myself hurting. Could just be due to variance. Anyway, I'm going to get into the games. Hopefully you enjoy. We're going to start right now. Also, if you wouldn't mind hitting subscribe button, it really helps a small creator like me. Thank you very much. Alright, this is a keeper. So, as I was saying, we only have 1 white mana, and we have a Doomskar, which takes double white. We'll start off with a tapped Amaria's Call, because we are not getting up to 7 mana anytime soon. Blue-green. I wonder if this is a ramp deck. We'll put this in on blue in case we need a Fading Hope something. And we might as well foretell the Doomskar. We can foretell Alrund's Epiphany later if we need to. But if we need access to that Doomskar, we want it foretold. Snowland. Oh, this is the Hexproof Fliers deck. This is a pretty neat deck. We now have Doomskar online, but we actually don't need to cast it. So I'm just going to foretell this Alrund's Epiphany and hold up our Fading Hope. Actually, with Fading Hope now, because they have all these hexproof cards, we don't want to let them have access to that. And this actually isn't so great because all the creatures have flying, from what I've seen. I've only played against this deck 1 time. I don't know the whole list. They just recast their Storm Chaser Drake. Okay, now I'm sure they have up a hexproof card. And we're just going to Memory Deluge. So we'll pass to them. Actually, wait, they have some amount of counter spells. So instead of letting them take their turn and untap their lands, I think I'm going to cast this right now. So, charge through, gains trample. Alright, well we're just going to Memory Deluge. a wash away. Not great in this matchup. Spikefield also not great. We will take the Spikefield just in case we can get no Lantern with Stormchaser Drake. And we'll take a Storm-Carved Coast. So we have the double white available already. But we have lots of land in our hand. We need to start getting some more cards. I think it might just be Memory Deluge plus Spikefield next turn. Alright, they're up to 4 mana. They just come in for 2. So we'll Memory Deluge. We could have just held this up until their turn. Aha. Double Memory Deluge. You know what? Sure. Double Deluge. Play our Storm-Carved Coast and pass. Now let's see if they want to cast a bunch of spells. Gains Hexproof. Do we want to respond now? Let's see if we can't make them cast another one of those spells. They could just have a Snakeskin Veil. I know they run those in this deck. Oh, it seems like they have another Sea Guard approach. Tons of these 1-mana spells in their deck. Alright, so we can just straight out cast a Doomskar without foretelling. I don't really think that's necessary right now. So let's just pass the turn to them. See what they want to do. And now we will cast this Memory Deluge on their end step. Draw 4 Memory Deluges, that's kind of hilarious. Alright, what are you gonna do with 6 mana? Sure, I accept the attack. They move to their end step. Let's try this. They might have a counterspell for us. I know they have another... Ooh, okay. Hullbreaker Horror and Expressive Iteration. Excellent. So we're up to Hullbreaker mana already. Let's just get this in on blue. And we have the 7 for Hullbreaker. So the real question is, do we hold it until we have more land? We could just Memory Deluge Flashback. Yeah, let's just do a Memory Deluge Flashback. We're not even close to being in danger of dying. And they can pay 2 twice. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on Spectral Adversary. And then phase out, which is unimportant. So basically they're putting in a 6 mana 4/3 flyer. Oh, they only did it once. Weird. I thought they were going to do it twice. They're probably afraid that we have an instant that would kill their creature, and so they didn't want to spend their last 2 mana, keeping their hexproof options available. Our life total's now getting low much more quickly. Let's try a Hullbreaker Horror. And if they bounce it back to our hand, we can just Doomskar. They can't counter it. And I don't know of any kill spells in blue and green that can take care of them. Best they can do is put it back in our hand. Do we see a Fading Hope? We do see a Fading Hope. That's fine, because now we're going to Doomskar. What do you have for the Doomskar? We have a Divide backup. If they have a counterspell, we can get rid of it. Boom, it resolves. Okay. So we could hold up a Memory Deluge, or we can Expressive Iteration. Let's do that. We'll look for a Fading Hope of our own. Okay. So let's go hand, bottom, exile. We haven't played a land yet, so we can get this in on... we have lots of blue, only 2 white, but the whites aren't flexible. So, yeah. We have a Divide by 0 to cast. We have access to so many cards now. Delver of Secrets. Sure. I feel pretty certain that they have some sort of hexproof card. But let's cast it and make them use it, because we have just so much gas. Oh, it worked. Well, let's grab a mascot exhibition. Okay. It's time to get the mascots into play. Okay. We don't have 3 mana available, but let's bluff like we have some interaction. So we might want to full control mode here. Just put a little stop. Just a little one. We don't want to, like, bore our opponents. We want to make them think we have something. Little stops. Okay, they've got a Blizzard Brawl. Double Blizzard Brawl? Holy hell. That's pretty impressive. You got another Blizzard Brawl? If you do, it still doesn't win the game. A Fading Hope. Alright. So they deal 6, putting us down to just 3 life. Well, we drew an Alrund's Epiphany. We could just straight up cast it. It would leave us with 2 mana. Which I suppose we could use to... Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to cast this Alrund's Epiphany. Use our leftover 3 mana to Divide by 0. Get rid of their Delver. They only have colorless. We'll bring out another Mascot Exhibition. Oh my gosh. Alright, it's unfair time. Cast a full cost Mascot Exhibition. Or sorry, Alrund's Epiphany. And we'll foretell this one. Just to shave off 1 cost next turn. And attack! A Leer? Oh. We have 3 mana left over after this. We can't really use it for much, so we'll just foretell this spell. Galvanic. We have enough to Galvanic plus Mascot Exhibition. So, let's do it. 2 Mascot Exhibitions, please. Alright, opponent. If you can get through all 6 of these blockers, you deserve the win. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure this is game over. Weird how the initial Mascot Exhibition has the extended art, so the first token has that too, but the extra token that was copied doesn't. Even though the Galvanic iteration does have the extra art. Well, we rank up with this win. up to Plat 3. We're just going to grind our way back up to Mythic anyway. Okay, blue and white. We'll keep this. Got a Sunset Revelry to keep us alive, and a Sot coming. And we'll play this on turn 1, since we are nowhere near 7 mana. So even though Jeskai Control has a 1% higher win rate than... We're going to Sunset Revelry here because it draws us a card and makes our tokens. Anyway, since it has a 1% higher win rate than Mono White, Mono White wins games much more quickly. So if you wanted to grind your way up to Plat, or I mean up to Mythic, I still think that Mono White is a better choice. Just by the numbers. Well, this is crazy. Triple eye twitch. So we can cast any one of these spells here. Just not Alrund's Epiphany. I mean, I guess we just attack? They take it. Sure. Alright, we'll see if we have a spell that we really need to counter, which I doubt. We'll probably end up dividing by 0. They only attack with 2. Ooh, you know what? I feel like opponent has, like a Village Rites or something. Deadly Dispute. So divide by 0 here would just basically get countered. I'm actually not gonna cast it. I think I want a Fading Hope their Eye Twitch. See if they want to sacrifice it here. They let it go back to hand. And we want to draw this. Sure, this is fine. It's just a land for us, and we are fine with a land right now. You want to drop a land every single turn. And the thing is, if we play this pathway, we can... Nah, let's just not be crazy. Boom, boom, 2 damage. And you see all these stops? They clearly have an instant. And the only instance I can think of that they would have is the Village Rites or the Deadly Dispute. So here comes the Deadly Dispute. There it is. They would have definitely cast it if I had cast Divide by 0. So now, in response to that, now I'm going to Divide. Not just because it can't attack, but also because I get to learn. And the thing I'm going to learn is... Oh, we are already up to 5, 6... Oh, just 5. I still think Sciences is the better call here. The next time we learn, it will be a mascot exhibition. Mono Black seeks to bury us with card advantage and planeswalkers. But we have the ability to get card advantage also. And a mascot exhibition might just play into a Blood on the Snow, and we don't want to play into any of their cards. Also, they didn't cast a Lolth that turn, which is definitely something to take note of. We already have access to double white, so we'll play this on blue. And if we foretell Alrund's Epiphany, we can still cast Saw It Coming. So yeah, that's our play. I think we don't attack. It's kind of a tough choice, but attacking would give them treasures. And if they didn't want the treasures, they could block 1 with Shambling Ghast. I almost feel like we should counter this, but no. We'll wait and counter something like a Lolth. We don't want them to get value from their planeswalkers. The hunt for specimens. Countering this does make them not learn. You know what? Let's do it. You don't get to learn a lesson. No pests, no lessons, nothing. Get out of here. They don't want to attack with the Shambling Ghasts. Interesting. Perhaps they just want to protect their life total. So, we don't have a single red mana available to us yet. So, it's a mountain right here. And Sunset Revelry draws us a card. It doesn't gain us life, but it does make us some creatures. So, it's Sunset Revelry time. Drawing this card is really what I'm after. Ooh, okay, okay. I see you, Memory Deluge. Oh, and I think we should Fading Hope the Eye Twitch right now. We'll get to Scry, and they don't have 2 mana to Deadly Dispute. I don't want this Spikefield Hazard anymore. Now I need to draw some action cards, not just land. Although we are about to Memory Deluge. But I think we'll draw plenty of land. They're up to 6. Eye Twitch. Sure. Eye Twitch. Sure. Shambling Ghast. Alright, they have all their little wimpy creatures. I'm not going to cast this other Fading Hope. Okay, we can foretell the Alrund's Epiphany and cast a Memory Deluge. So let's just do that. No attacks. Here's the plan. We cast Memory Deluge, and we search for Galvanic Iteration plus land. And then hope to draw land, and we can start getting in there. Having a counterspell here would be pretty awesome, but alas, we don't have one. And they're choosing -1/-1 on one of our human tokens. Weird that they didn't go for more treasure. Skullport Merchant loves there to be as much treasure as possible to sacrifice. They come with the Eye Twitches and not the Shambling Ghasts. And not the Faceless Haven. Of course, we would just triple block the Faceless Haven. Take the 2. Okay, Memory Deluge. Uh-huh. This is interesting. So we want to saw it coming, and we're pretty close to casting Ameria's Call. But actually, we're just going to take the Stormcarved Coast. Ameria's Call might be a trap. If we cast this, we can't saw it coming. But we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we actually don't want to counter anything, we can flashback Memory Deluge. We only have 41 cards left, and this goes 7 deep. Do you have a must-counter spell like a Liliana or a Lolth? They might just fire up Eye of the Hive Tyrant. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Why do I say that backwards? Okay, they just try and get in with Eye Twitches. Yeah, we'll take it. Alright, flashback Memory Deluge. Let's see what we find. We have 2 Alrund's Epiphanies exiled. Wow. Still no Galvanic. So we could cast the Seagate Restoration. That would be pretty fun. It would leave a wide open turn. You know what? Let's go crazy and cast a Seagate Restoration. This would take all but one of our mana. We have a Fading Hope for something if we really need it. If we wait till next turn, we can cast this with a counterspell backup. And this does only draw 4 cards. Of course, if we foretell and play a land and draw 1, that'll actually bring us down to 3 cards. So we'll just cast it now. It's a crazy choice. Sometimes you just gotta go for it, you know? Boom, draw 4 cards. Okay. And we don't have a maximum hand size. So I'm just gonna organize my hand real quick. Land at the beginning. 1, 2, 3 CMC. Perfect. No attacks. We have a hand full of cards. 9 cards in hand. Nice little we gain. It's not like an emblem or anything. Bloodchief's Thirst? Wow. That's interesting. They could have saved a spell like that for a Leer or a Kraken. Whoa! They're really trying to get in there this turn. Are they going to field my coast? That would be weird. 1. We only have drawn 1 of our 3 basic lands in this mountain. Okay. Let's go to attackers. Whoo! They're getting in there. Block. Block. And Fading Hope your Faceless Haven. Do you want to sacrifice it to Deadly Dispute? You even have a Deadly Dispute. Just 2. Now 3 cards in hand. Doomskar? No. We have a Doomskar in hand, and we don't even intend on casting it. We don't need them learning with these eye twitches. We have 8 mana. We draw a Galvanic Iteration right here. We take forever turns. We don't. Okay, let's Expressive Iteration. Digging for that Galvanic. They clearly have an instant of some kind. They might actually have the Deadly Dispute. Or no, they can fire up Hive of the Eye Tyrant. They might not have an instant at all. More Expressive Iterations. Okay. Hand, bottom, exile. We'll cast this Divide by 0. Now we get to find out if they have it. They don't. And I guess it's just a mascot exhibition? We will play this Deserted Beach. We have 4 mana left. Foretell. And that's it. We have 2 Alrund's Epiphanies, but we only need 1 Galvanic Iteration to take 4 turns. There's only 30 cards left in our deck, and we've put a pretty good number of them on the bottom with our Memory Deluge. Wouldn't mind drawing another Memory Deluge actually right about now. Faceless Haven power up. Okay, we actually don't have anything to stop it, so we take 5, 6, 7, 8 if they power this up. They didn't power it up, so we take 5. Ouch. Eye Twitch is back. Skullport, Merchant. This is like forever card value for them. They can start drawing cards right away. Land. So if we Expressive Iteration, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we haven't played a land. So if we Expressive Iteration into a Galvanic, we still can go off fully this turn. No. Hand. bottom, exile. And we're getting closer and closer, and at this point, I think we just have to... if we give them another turn, we might just die. So I think it's time for an Alrund's Epiphany. And we can foretell this Doomskar. Alright, back to us. Yikes. Okay, let's get in with the birds. They do block. I was kind of hoping they didn't, because we're gonna Doomskar right here. It'll be Doomskar plus Mascot Exhibition. Because we have the 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have exactly enough, and we haven't played a land. So Doomskar first. Skullport, do you want to draw some cards? You could draw up to 2 cards. Okay, they decided to sacrifice Eye Twitch. Sacrifice 2 treasures, draw a card. No! Okay. Now we get to Mascot Exhibition. And Basic Island. Okay, opponent. I sure hope that you can't kill me. I can't imagine a world that they can. Oh, it's just Lolth. I mean, we really wanted to counter that, but we're not in a position where we can. We needed one more land. They have their own mascot, sure. They don't have enough to do this.
A gift.
Okay.
In exchange for loyalty.
We could leer and then cast some stuff. What is the right play? We're close to dead, actually. So if we cast this for 4, we still have enough to Alrund's Epiphany. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... If we find a Galvanic Iteration... There it is. We can use it. Yeah, this leaves us with exactly 6. Double Alrund's Epiphany. And let's just send everybody. See what they want to do about it. Next turn we get a full free turn to do whatever we want. And that turn's going to include casting Leer. And maybe a Flashback Memory Deluge. For, I don't know, 4 or 7. Ooh, Hullbreaker Horror. Okay, well this is where we cast that. And we get to take another turn after this, so we'll just cast Leer. Put Spider back in your hand. Oh my gosh. This is insane. Play this on blue. And then a Fading Hope. Putting that back in your hand. Returning Lolth. Galvanic Iteration. But we don't have... I suppose Galvanic is okay. Yeah, sure. Boom! Took it out. Man, look at all these freaking cards. Jeskai Control's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts, yeah. So I'm stopping it after 2 games. We won 2 in a row, but these games just take so long. The video's already quite some length after just the 2 games. So, Jeskai Control, powerful deck, wins very often. However, the games take a long time, and there are a lot of decisions to make in the games, so they're also mentally taxing. So, again, if you want to rank up and you want to rank up fast, mono white. It's always just mono white. But if you enjoy playing games like this, or you want to break from playing sort of a mostly brainless deck like mono white, you can play this, because this is pretty fun. I mean, there's a certain allure to stalling out until you can, you know, Seagate Restoration your way into a ton of cards and playing Lear. And, you know, if you play Hullbreaker Horror, or no, check it out. So I had a game where I played Lear, and the opponent had a ton of creatures on the battlefield. My only way to survive was to play Lear, and then next turn play my Doomskar out of the graveyard, and Fading Hope out of the graveyard, my Lear back to my hand, so I could replay Lear again the following turn, and then I could do more survive things. And I actually won that game. It was super fun. So this deck's great. Lots of fun. But I don't know if this is the one to take you all the way up to Mythic. That's up to you. Let me know if you like this deck in the comments. Until next time, fist bump, high five, take it easy.